Hello, my name is Jo Tufill and I'm an expert tutor for the ACCA. This is a topic explainer for the end of Unit 7 quiz. I'm going to use the example from the tuition section on multiple regression. This required us to predict barbecue sales from wet days, temperature and sunshine hours. I will show you how to create the multiple regression in a spreadsheet and then use it to answer some similar questions to the end of unit quiz. Let's get started.
Here we are on the data analytics section, specifically regression, and we are going to be using this example, as I said, which is about predicting barbecue sales influenced by wet days, monthly temperature and hours of sunshine. Here's the data that we're going to be using, and they've given you a table to download with the predictor. We are going to repeat that exercise now and show you how to do it yourself so that you can repeat that for the end of unit quiz. So let's click on the download, and this is what you'll see. We have the data here on the left. Barbecue sales, monthly hours of sunshine, temperature and wet days in the month. These three columns are the X variables. They're the independent variables. Barbecue sales is the dependent variable. We are going to create an equation that predicts barbecue sales from these multiple independent variables. They've already used the data analysis tool to create it. And they've also created predictions from it. We're going to start again and explain it to you. So I'm going to put this data into a separate sheet. Here it is. You now need to go to your Data tab. And if you haven't got the Data Analytics tool up, you need to put an add-in in. So I'm going to find add-ins by searching. We need the Analysis Tool pack. Click OK. And there you'll see Data Analytics in the top right. Click on it. And you need to go down to Regression. Click OK. And now you've got this selection tool for your regression. The Y range is your dependent variable, which is barbecue sales. I am going to click the labels because I like to see the labels in my summary answer. I then click into the Y range and I then select. I click into the X range. I then select all three X variables. I want the confidence level to be 95 and I want to click that there's a new worksheet. Everything else should be left as is. Then I go OK. And as you can see, it's opened up a new spreadsheet called Spreadsheet 2. I've now labelled that predictions. If we open up this spreadsheet, column A, you can see that barbecue sales is going to be a function of the intercept, which means if all the other X values are 0, barbecue sales will always be 588 units. If there's wet days in the month, then it reduces by 29 times by the number of wet days. The temperature takes 20 times by the temperature off the barbecue sales, which is quite strange. You would have thought it was the other way. And monthly sunshine hours, you would times by 10, which increases barbecue sales. So I am now going to copy those below to create the prediction for barbecue sales. The data I'm going to put in is obviously that is always 1. So the intercept we always times by 1. I'm going to say wet days in the month 10. I'm going to say temperature average in the month is going to be 20 degrees, and monthly hours of sunshine, I'm going to go for 100. And so now I'm going to predict the number of barbecue sales. So barbecue sales is going to be equal to the intercept with wet days in the month times by 29, temperature in the month times by -20, and monthly sunshine hours times by effectively 10. So I'm going to predict that barbecue sales is the sum now of those. So I'm predicting barbecue sales to be 910 in volume a month. If I was now asked to do that to the nearest 100, then I would be predicting 900. That is what the quiz is asking you to do, rounding to the nearest 100. I'm now going to show you how many extra barbecue sales you will get per 50 hours of sunshine. Well, all you simply do is you change the variable to do with monthly hours of sunshine to be 50. And therefore, we're predicting 513. And if we did that to the nearest 10, we would get 510. The other thing I want to talk about is the significance of R squared, also the p-value and the significance f value. R squared is 0.96. This R squared value is very close to 1. And this means that it's practically a perfect correlation between those X values and barbecue sales. Only 4% of other factors can explain barbecue sales effectively. The other two things to look at is, first of all, the significant F. That needs to be below the 5%, because we're at 95% confidence level. And if significant F is below 5%, again, we can be confident that the X values correlate highly with the Y value. Finally, we need to look at the P values. These all need to be also less than 5%, which they are for every X value. If any of those are above 5%, it might indicate that variable's relationship, i.e. correlation with Y, isn't as strong as the other variables. This example is very similar to the exercise you're required to complete in the end of unit quiz, which relates to train timetables rather than barbecue sales. Using the skills I have demonstrated here and the spreadsheet you can download, you should be able to correctly answer the questions.